We're now at the point of creating a global cash flow analysis or a global cash flow summary. First of all, I'd like to start with a definition of what global cash flow is. Global cash flow is when you take your individual companies or entities and look at your overall global cash position based on all of those companies. For instance, you might have 3 or 4 individual companies. One company may be making money and 3 might be losing money. So the effect is that you might be overall losing a lot of money, or if that one company was making a ton of money and the other ones were small, you could still be making money. So it is simply taking into consideration the net effect of all of your companies. The banks require this now. When you go in an individual company, they don't dare lend on just what that one company's doing, because you might be making money with that company, but that profit might be going to fund the losses with other companies, and the net effect is you might have an overall loss. The same is in any group of companies you have. You're interested at the end of the year what the net effect is. If you have 4 companies, one is losing $50,000 and the other companies are making $10,000 a year, you're still losing overall money because they don't make up for the loss of the one company that's losing the $50,000. So we're going to show you how to do a global cash flow where you can pick the individual companies or budgets or departments that you want to take into consideration in doing the global cash flow. In a church, you would take like maybe your Sunday school department, your general fund, your missionary department, your audiovisual, your busing, and take all of those into consideration, what the net effect on the church is as a whole, to see where the church stands looking at each individual budget. So you can pull the individual budget, give it to the department head there. You could keep the information in the general fund separate and confidential if you wanted to as far as pastoral salaries, but the global cash flow analysis would take into consideration all of the reports and show you the net effect. So we're ready to start that right now. When you go to the Budget Cash Flow King, we're going to go to File at the top of the screen. We're going to go down to Global Cash Flow Summary, and we'll click on that. We're going to pick the companies, or the budgets in this case, that we want to choose for the Global Cash Flow Summary. In this case, we're going to do a church. The first one we're going to pick is a church general fund. We're going to go down to the audiovisual department. Click that. We're going to click on the church ministry budget. We're going to click on the Sunday school budget, the youth ministry budget, the mission board, and that will give the actual budgets that we want to use in this global cash flow summary. Now, one of the things you need to look at when you do this, it says the start date, where it shows January 1st, 2012 in our case, but sometimes you'll open this up, and we had this happen earlier, where we opened this and it didn't start on January. It started on another month like September sometime. Check and make sure that you click the down arrow, and there's an arrow to the left and right of the month that will move you to the month you want to be in, and click the date you want to start on. So in our case now, we've picked January 1st, 2012. We've entered that. I'm clicking on the 1st. It's defaulted to there, and now we click on Create Global Cash Flow Summary. So we're beginning to create the global cash flow summary based on those budgets that we had selected for the church. And this will give us an overall position of all the departments in the church and an overall global perspective or global summary on the church. So in just a few minutes here, it will have processed those companies, brought all that data together, and made a summary report that you will find very, very helpful. So now it has come up, and in front of us we have a copy of the global cash flow analysis, and the top portion of the global cash flow summary reflects the months from January through June, and the bottom section of the report is identical, but it reflects the months from July through December. And the beginnings of these reports have incorporated each one of the fund names, and other than that, in a few minutes in another presentation we're going to show you how these, in a printed form, how the numbers interact. Thank you.